Hello. Um, I am on. I am still figuring out if uh, if I like the lighting. So if you get on, or when you get on, if you see that the lighting is kind of funny, the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is this. It feels like this glow. This kind of just went away behind me, and especially when I move forward, it just kind of goes from there. But I will start off saying that I did not honor my word by doing at least 3 videos this week. So. Along with this live that I do once a week, I said that I would do at least 2 more. So, since there's still some time during the day, and there's still, and sometimes I consider Saturday still part of this week, kind of my cleanup. There's 2 more videos that I can do. So I'm excited about that. So what I wanted to do today, it was a very exciting week for me, because I got the author's copy of my second book, of Beyond the Shell, The Journey to Stay You. And I'm really excited about, I guess, that book, because it's really has put me in, I guess, a different place and a different understanding of the whole series. The series was my opportunity to allow Will, my younger self, to tell his story, about his life, what made him happy, what made him sad, just how he got through life. And I wrote the books to allow Will to speak. And so, in the first book, it was pretty much, I don't want to say a setup, or a kind of a backstory. The backstory of, asking that question, what makes you you, or who are you? And many times when we ask that question, hi Allison, hope you can hear me well. I have a new microphone. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a new microphone. So, asking that question of what makes you you, and kind of taking the reader through that process to get to you. To get to yourself, what makes us us. And it's sometimes, especially within my within my conversation around self-awareness, thank you, around self-awareness and self-love and self-discovery, I use you a lot instead of me, and sometimes when I'm having a conversation where I'm trying to bring you into the conversation, it's like, okay, not me, you, but you. So it kind of gets crazy. But what I wanted to do today is share with you my you cards, and kind of explain the reason for that, and they're here. And they are definitely a companion to the books. Too often when we are asked to, to be ourselves, be yourself, or to, show up authentically and all that. And I think too often I believe that we believe our labels are us. So, a man, a Toastmaster, entrepreneur. That's who we think we are, and I don't believe that that's who we are. We are a number of things, underneath that, and I have learned for myself. It's sometimes it's some things that are not too pretty, or not stuff that you would like to believe or share with in mixed company. So I created these U cards. They had two purposes. One, to have you question your identity, or kind of evaluate, to look at what you are or who you are through the lens of three different concepts. That you are statements, right? You are statements, and I am statements, and quotes, just quotes about you, about the individual. And what I have done in there, so on the orange cards, there is an I am. So in the I am, and so this card is I am complete. And so I believe that our identity, too often we allow other people to tell us who we are. And what I'm doing with the U cards is, you are picking a card and seeing what resonates for you. And sometimes, I am complete, that lands perfectly, and I'm ready to jump through the wall. But there are some days, if I would pick this card, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's the case. But just recognizing when I do feel this way and when I don't, and seeing what's going on. Because the truth to the matter is, I am always this, even if I have no awareness of it. And the other cards, in the green cards that I have, they are the You Are cards, and the You Are cards are what other people are saying about us, and I think too often, as I mentioned before, we believe what other people say about us more than what we say about ourselves, or we give that more weight. And so what I wanted to do by having these cards is allowing people not just to say what you're saying about yourself, but what other people are saying about you. And so to have someone say, you are seen. Now, if you believe that, that can give you much power. If you don't believe that, that is something that takes a little more inquiry. And so one of my biggest stories that I would tell myself was, nobody understands me, nobody sees me, nobody knows the real me. The reality is that was probably the truth on some level, because I don't know if you've ever had really close friends, and I have a college friend, Aaron. How you doing, Aaron? That there are a number of people that I'm still friends with today, that when we would talk or we have time to interact, they would tell me who they saw at the time, almost 25 years ago. And it is interesting for me because I at the time don't remember having that awareness of myself, but other people were able to see that. So I believe there are some people that see you, some people that are open to see, as I say, not just your representative, but you. And the other cards, what I have, hopefully you're still there. But the other cards that I have are the blue cards, and they have quotes. So this is a quote that says, "Be you, the world will adjust." And sometimes I think for me, I need permission. I feel like I need permission. So I don't know if you can still hear me, or if I'm still live. That would be great. Give me a thumbs up or something. It's still saying that I'm live, and hopefully I'm not breaking up anymore. And maybe I need to shut this down and open it back up again. But hey, okay, I'm here, so that's good. So I will put it on Do Not Disturb in the future, so I don't we don't have this problem. One of the many problems that we have. Great, sound is good now. Thank you very much. So having a card, that picking a card at random, that's how they're designed to be like a daily prompt of a U card, an IM card, or a UR card. What do you think that the world is saying about you today? What are you going to believe? And what are you saying about yourself today? And the one thing that my process of creating these cards and using these cards for myself, it wasn't that I wanted to be positive thinking all the time, or wanted to say that, hey, I'm getting these great, affirmation cards, and I'm just going to have a good old time, and everything is going to be great. It is a way for me to see where I am emotionally, to have me look at a card and it says that, you are purpose. And feeling in my mind or in my heart and where I am in that day, if I believe that. Because if I don't believe it, I am not going to act as if. I am going to do different actions. And so that's okay, but I believe that there's a reason why that is happening, that is not happening, and all that. But so I'm excited about the cards, and the other thing about this cards, and that we were able to use these cards before, is it's a game, and so you can play this game with your loved one. And so this is how the game is played. You can, depending on the number of people, you can basically deal about five cards. 5 cards if you have like 5 people or something like that. And you would have 2 IM cards and 2 UR cards and 1 blue card, 1 quote card. And so in the game, it is designed that you go around, depending on how many people that you have, how many cards that you have. If you pick the IM card, you read what the card says, and then you tell a story. So if it says, I am brave, in 1 minute or less, you say a quick story of how you feel that you have been brave. And the people around you that are playing in the game will share, with you very quickly, I think 30 seconds when it's an IM card, when they saw you brave, or when you showed up brave for them. And and so they don't have to say it during the IM card. But when you have the UR card, then you are silent and you just share what the UR card says. So if the UR card says, I like this, you are a unicorn. This is great. It's kind of funny. This is something that I made an executive decision, and I might change this because a number of my friends. But in the cards that I have right now are my demo cards, are my cards to kind of figure out if I like them, if I wanted to, just kick the tires and all that other kind of stuff. But in the first card, I put the unicorn. But in the cards that I move forward, I didn't. So this is the only unicorn card. And so what I am going to do sometime in the future, when I'm started selling more and every kind of stuff, have like a Willy Wonka type of contest and just randomly put the unicorn card in and just say that, hey, somebody has the unicorn card, and let me know, and we will celebrate you and get something special for you, and just go from there. So, but getting back to the game, so with the You Are card, you are silent. You just tell people what it says, and then you go around the room, and they have a minute to tell you how you're a unicorn, how they showed up for them, or how they seen you for other people. And so just to hear how other people see you in that is really incredible, actually. And I've seen it, playing it with my family and some of my other beta testers, and using the games, and just seeing what people you know that they care about say about you. It's great. So you do that a couple times. You go around all the room and all that kind of stuff. And the last card, you come to the last card, and it's a quote card, and you just share what the quote says. And this one that I pulled down says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." And it's from Scripture, Jeremiah. I think it's 1:5. And the part of the game is to share. So it's like, how do you win? How do you win? You win by connecting with your family and your loved ones and sharing that. There's it's difficult to have these kind of feelings and emotions in the beginning, but after a while, people kind of like lean into that and really appreciate each other. And the other thing that I ask people to do when they're playing the game together is just look at their 5 cards and see if there's a pattern, if the universe, God, is something connecting you together. Because I definitely believe there's 2 trains of thoughts. There are clues to who we are, and I think we allow situations and circumstances to kind of cloud that from us. So and I think that's what the discovering is all about. And I wanted, in some cases, I want to use the word of uncovering. Sometimes you have to get through the disappointments and fears and all that other kind of stuff to get to who we are. So it's just the act of discovering and just being open to what other people are saying about you and what other people are saying. It's really great. So I'm really excited, because after the first book, when Sam says, "So go be you," that's a very empowering statement, comment, charge. But too often, people don't know who you are, and so, hey, let's take an opportunity to use a card to figure that out for yourself. And I believe there's another thing that is very it's in my thinking. Most of the times we don't really think about who we are, or have people really tell us what they think of us or anything, unless something happens. So we do something terrible, and then, we have what's they call, come to Jesus meeting, and people tell you who you're being, right? Or, you have an illness, or you have something big has to happen for you to have this self-assessment of who you are and how you want to show up in the world. And I call it trauma. I use the word, trauma. We wait for trauma to basically help us identify us. And what I want to do through this conversation and through these tools, and I did it again. I thought I put the do not disturb on, so it did it again. So I might go away and come back. But what I wanted to do was to create an environment, an atmosphere where you are doing this self-discovery absence of trauma. Because too often when trauma is associated with our learning something about ourselves, sometimes we think that's all we are, and we only get access to ourselves through trauma. And I don't know if I don't want to go so far as saying that people create situations where they're in trauma, but maybe that's true for some people. But in some cases, I think when we're waiting for that other shoe to drop, or we're waiting for things to kind of reveal itself in how we're going to show up, then it can get very dicey. So yeah, I'm one of those people that you don't have to beat me over the head for me to learn something. I can, it may take me a little while. I've been called hard-headed and thick-headed and all that other kind of stuff. But you don't have to yell. You don't have to do anything traumatic for me to learn. But I have been learning through trauma. But I have decided, and that's something that I believe that you can decide for yourself, not to wait for trauma, not to wait until you're unhappy or disappointed or depressed to do this evaluation. Do this evaluation or this discovery of who you are. So when trauma comes, when situations show up, you can show up and make a difference in those. And that's what I wanted to share today, and I appreciate this. Oh, I forgot to say, they are available on IamWilliamBrown.com. You can get the new book, you can get the journal that goes along with the cards, and I was going to talk more about the journal in another recording. Because, as I said before, I don't want this to be like an infomercial. But I just really believe that now is the time that that people are just available for each other, and not just for each other, but for themselves. And I think the reason why we get thrown around often in our emotions and in situations is because we don't have a clear or consistent understanding of who we are. And I really feel that that's what people are looking for, and that's what I want to encourage. So thank you very much, my friend, and I appreciate it. I'm sitting further back, so now I have to use my 52-year-old eyes to move closer to see what you are written. But sharing what I've learned, and yeah, because I think too often there is assessment tool that is on. I think it's on the Good Life Project. I'll put it on the within the comments. But the Good Life Project, they have a Sparketype, and in their Sparketype, my lead type is a Maven, and a Maven is, from what I remember, is someone who likes to learn new stuff, like to get information, and that's that really sparks me to learn something new. But my shadow assessment or spark is a sage, and a sage is a teacher. So now that I am excited about what I'm learning, I'm excited, just as excited to share, and hopefully you'll be able to learn and grow and learn a little more about yourself too. So thank you very much. I will do a video, and then next Friday, you know what, there's some parts of me that says, you know what, I probably need to do this more often, but it'll probably be shorter. So I'm just kind of working through that. But I think I'm rambling now. But have a wonderful weekend. I will definitely be back live on Friday, but you'll see a couple more videos from me. So go be you. Thank you.